So I use Goodreads all the time. I log my books on here, and I've been using Goodreads, let's see, since 2011. So what I do every year, I start a new label over here, a new bookshelf, and it's read in the year. And so whenever I read a book and I put it in my little categories over here, I also add the year, so then I can just, for my own record, have how many I read that year. So you can tell that, you know, some years were leaner than others. In 2019, I read 105. That's terrific. Let's check out the winners of the Choice Awards. So, readers' favorite fiction, The Wedding People. I did read this. I gave it, can't remember. I gave it 4 stars. So this one, it started off, I guess, I remember better than it ended. I didn't really care for the main character, so that kind of didn't help much. But let's see what else. I haven't read a lot. Oh, I read Tell Me Everything. I DNF'd Sandwich. That was just so bad. I know it was so popular, but I started this one, same as it ever was, but I didn't get very far. So let's see, historical fiction. The Women, I know this was wildly popular, but the Vietnam War is just not something I wanted to read about. I had checked out James from the library, but I wanted to read the other book, Huck Finn, before I read that, and I checked out Briar Club, and I didn't get to that. What else? Oh, I read Long Island, and I gave it 4 stars. No, I gave it 3 stars. That was kind of a disappointment because I really wanted to love that book, but I did not. Okay, mystery thriller. I actually checked out The God of the Woods a week or 2 ago, but I couldn't get into it. I had read First Lie, but I DNF'd it. I started First Lie Wins, I DNF'd it. I don't know why it says red. I read The Boyfriend, and oh, I didn't give it stars? I thought I gave this ratings. The Boyfriend, I gave 3 stars. Oh my gosh, I love Frida McFadden, but her books are just kind of train wrecks all over the place. I started Listen for the Lie. Do you sense a theme? Yeah. Midnight Feast, I read via NetGalley. This one I gave 2 stars. This one, let's see. What do I say about it? No one was likable, and the back and forth timeline jumps were disjointed. Yeah, I feel like I want to be the reader that likes Lucy Foley, and I never am. I'm always disappointed. I did read The Mystery Guest. I don't know why I have that not read, but I read this via NetGalley as well a year or so ago. I read Darling Girls, and I rated it 3 stars. I like Sally Hepworth, but some of her books just don't jive with me. This one I want to read because I loved his book, Hidden Pictures. It was so clever. This one I checked out from the library, but I just couldn't get through it. This one looks interesting. I read House of Glass, and I gave that 3 stars. This one, I've never heard of that one. Romance, I rarely read romance books, but I did read this one. That's right. Funny Story, and I rated it, what did I rate this one? I rated it 4 stars. I really like this one. I think this one, yeah, definitely my favorite book by Emily Henry. I'm kind of curious to read her books, even though she's just not my jam, but I did like this one. What else do we have here? Yeah, this one, boy, I hear you either love or hate this one. This one, Wild Love, is supposed to be good. What else? This one's supposed to be good. Swift and Saddled. That's a great cover. Romantasy? That's actually a thing. No, I probably didn't read any of these. I don't like fantasy books. And I didn't read fantasy. And I didn't read any sci-fi. I do like sci-fi movies, but just I don't like sci-fi books. Stephen King, the horror books. I did read this one, Murder Road. I gave it 3 stars. That's definitely a horror. What else? Sometimes I read these. I mean, they kind of, I don't seek them out. Sometimes I'm reading a book and I'm like, oh, that's a little deeper than a thriller. It's a true crime, or it's deeper than mystery. It's horror. Yeah, I don't know any of these books. Audiobooks, I don't tend to listen to because I don't have Audible. And my Libby system, it just never has anything. Everything is always checked out. Young adult fantasy, no. Young adult fiction. I used to read quite a bit of young adult, but I tend to read more middle age if I'm going to read young books. Nonfiction. Some years I read a lot of nonfiction, and other years I don't. This year I haven't read much of any nonfiction. I am almost done with the memoir I'm reading, which is really good. I've heard this is good. The Third Gilmore Girl. I love that show. I have this one. I was so excited to get that, find that at the used book room at the library last week. So I'm going to be eager to read that one. I've heard this is good. Grief is for People. I have to be in the mood to read a grief book. You know what I mean? History and biography. I probably haven't read any of these. Do you judge a book by a cover? I know you're not supposed to, but Lordy, it's so easy to do. So yeah, those are the choice awards on Goodreads. I didn't vote. I felt like I just didn't read enough to cast my vote. So, oh my goodness, my challenge was 52, not 80. So I really surpassed my challenge this year. So yay me. These are always cool. If you go into your challenges, no, I didn't read that then. If you go into, yes, didn't I? There were a couple that, so if you go into your challenge, you can see all your books that you've read, which is kind of fun. If you click over here, it shows you some books that you might like that are kind of based on your reading style. There's so much you can do in Goodreads that I just don't know about. I just go in and do what I do. So these are the books that I have read this year, and some that really pop out to me. Definitely The Grandmother by Jane E. James. That was a 4-star. That was wild. So crazy. A thriller. Let's see what else pops out. The Hostage. That was a dud. But I discovered this author that I really like. I like this one. Also a thriller. What else? This is a new author for me, Kara Ruda. Oh, this one was good. Redhead by the Side of the Road. I really like that one. It's a character study, and Tyler writes those kind of books. This was so good. Coleman Hill. This was a 5-star read for me. If you want to read a really good fiction book, this one. So good. That was a Sarah Jessica Parker imprint. Let's see what else. This was good. The Paris Widow. The Fury was really interesting. I liked that more than I thought I would. Oh, My Husband. That is really, really good. The ending, it's a kicker. I read a classic. This one was interesting. Bye Baby by Carola Lovering. Let's see what else jumps out. Oh, Insomnia, that was good. This was via NetGalley. What else? Oh, I read several Claire Keegan books this year. This one was really good. A Feather on the Breath of God by Sigrid Nunez. So good. This one was excellent. A Quitter's Paradise. Oh, I loved that so much. I reread Hotel de Lac. The Waters was so bad. This is my opinion, of course. So yeah. Those are the books that I read this year. Pretty cool. So, how many books did you read this year? Let me know. What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? I love Goodreads. I know that some people go for that app Storygraph, and I've looked at it, but I can't get the handle on it. So I just use Goodreads. I love it.